Hey ho, viewers. It's Hudson.
And I'm George. And welcome to Encore, and we just saw Captain America Winter Soldier
2. Captain America 2 Winter Soldier. I feel like...
2 American Soldier Winter.
I feel like the loss of the number is a great misfortune on movie history. And the fact that...
Oh, yeah. Well, it died with Iron Man. So, we saw the second Captain America movie, and this was actually really good. I liked it.
I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot more than the first one. The first one, if I remember, I gave it like a 6 or a 5. Like, it was okay. It was good.
I gave it was either a 7 or 8, somewhere around that range. But this definitely upped the ante.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to give the score right now, but...
It's not... well, spoilers, duh.
So...
If you're watching a review for any movie out there in existence,
if you're watching us, we're going to spoil the shit out of everything.
Okay, but Captain America 2 is more geared towards, like... It's more action-packed than the first one, for sure. It doesn't need
from memory, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't need to worry about origin story. Like many superhero sequels, it dives right in.
Yes, you should know the character by now. If you don't, well, you're in the wrong movie. Because it just sort of jumps into the fry. And...
I mean, they give a little bit. Like, there's some... the dialogue right at the start of the movie between him and the to-be Falcon. At the start of the movie, like, oh man, being frozen must have sucked, and blah, 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 blah. You mean that kind of like, if you don't know exactly or if you don't remember everything, they kind of get you up to speed before they start diving into the story.
But it doesn't like take over the plot, which is good.
It doesn't. They don't,
and they shouldn't have.
They don't seem to like see it necessary to remind you every 10 seconds that he was cryogenically frozen or whatever.
I think he was just frozen in
ice. Like, I don't know if that works the same as cryo.
Nope.
No. Okay, good.
So, let's get to the plot of the movie. Essentially, what happens is Captain America and Black Widow go on the ship, and they have to just save a bunch of SHIELD agents.
They have to save a bunch
from a hijacking.
Yeah, there's a terrorist takeover of a SHIELD ship, and it's a secret kind of undercover plot to get some intel that Nick Fury really wants, and the whole thing is about how diluted the idea of intelligence is and like not sharing information. Mm-hmm. It feels like a giant movie about like WikiLeaks near the end, but
we're the #1 trending thing right now.
Yeah, of course, it's government secrets.
Like, where did she post that? I just want to know.
I don't know where she posted it. It became trending in 2 seconds, but I'm sure it was William Dafoe's Twitter handle.
Yeah,
he's just really angry.
Okay.
No. So most of the movie is Captain America and Black Widow are rogue agents because SHIELD is taken over by
Falcon joins along with them.
Near the end of in the
midway, basically.
In the third quarter of the movie, like pretty much from then on is the subsequent attack on SHIELD because it's been taken over by Hydra.
Which, for those who don't remember from the first one, essentially was the Nazi
super organization
of sorts. And
they were like
it just
step
kind
above
of like
Nazis.
Infiltrates into SHIELD
like
from
Nazis,
the beginning of it.
Hydra. Peter.
Which I want to say a quick thing about the Hydra plot. I really like that. That was really good. That they kind of it just integrates as like, oh wow, that works really well.
I thought like Hydra was done, and I was like, man, is this like going to be a Soviet thing because he's got that Soviet star on him, right? Mm-hmm. He's got like I thought, why does he have that? I mean, it's from the comic books because he was brainwashed by the Soviets. Bucky. We're talking about the Winter Soldier here, who's a huge part of the plot.
Oh yeah,
we haven't even introduced.
Spoiler warning: Bucky is the Winter Soldier.
If you didn't know anything about comics,
you will be
a large portion of you probably don't.
But yeah, that happens. You find out that Bucky is actually the Winter Soldier, and of course that really affects Captain America because they're buddies.
He has to take a solemn moment on a dam.
And remember back to a moment that we didn't see in the first movie. But I guess that was
I thought that scene was in the first movie.
I don't remember in the first one.
Something similar to that happened.
Probably.
But, Yeah, the movie integrates nicely the first movie and the Avengers, and it sets everything up really nicely, I think, for...
And one of the things you really realize when you watch this movie is just how really well tightened Marvel Studio has on all their movies. Like, things that happen in this movie affect, like, things that happen in Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is the TV show that they have going.
Yeah.
And I just found that really cool. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't actually expect that to happen. That there be continuity between everything.
I don't remember what happened to Hawkeye at the end of Avengers, but I thought he was still with S.H.I.E.L.D. He might not be. He might have gone rogue or something. I can't remember the end of Avengers.
They probably didn't pay him enough to be in the movie.
They had enough big stars. They didn't need to waste any more money.
They had Scarlett Johansson. They had
Chris
Samuel
Evans.
Jackson.
Chris Evans.
They
had Danny Putty from Community. for
nice little cameo.
I don't even know if it's a cameo. I think he was just really glad to be in a Marvel movie.
Ooh, wouldn't it be?
I mean, I would.
The whole movie is essentially them trying to take down S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's essentially Hydra at that point.
Yeah, you don't know that for the first half of the movie.
Well, obviously, but
like as it gets deeper and deeper,
you find out who's working for them, who you can trust. Jennifer Lawrence appears in it, and I like that because I really love her as an actress.
Who else? What else happens? It's a lot more action packed than a lot of the Marvel movies have been. I mean, there isn't.
If you like the Avengers, you'll really like this movie because it takes everything from the Avengers and steps it up a notch. And I really hope that's a constant trend that's going to happen throughout the rest of the Marvel movies. That they kind of just step.
And I just hope they keep going. You know, I don't see any end in sight. They have so much comic book story already already either in the works or has already been written that they can change to film. You know, so I see this as a great step in the right direction for the whole Marvel Studios.
They can't go wrong unless Ant-Man bombs. Which who's
going to be Ant-Man? Because you were telling me it was.
Hold on.
I gotta look it up. Okay.
Do you want to look it up?
Okay. Well, let's wrap up this review. So
okay. So what do you give Captain America: Winter Soldiers?
I give it an 8.5.
I'm with you, 8.5. I really liked it. There definitely was a few things that bugged me, which I never mentioned, but mostly it was like the camera work, where it's like really fast, and you don't really get to take in the information, like you were saying before we actually start recording.
It feels like some of the earlier scenes and some of the later scenes, you can't really tell what's going on for a couple seconds, and then it catches you up with but they're here now.
And I mean, there's a few nitpicky moments here and there, but they're very nitpicky moments.
There's a great scene. I don't want to spoil too much of we have spoiled way too much of the movie, but there's a great scene when Captain America goes on the intercom and talks to S.H.I.E.L.D. and you can see. In the eyes of everybody who's just standing in the office, he's telling you that Hydra has infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and the guy at the top is corrupt and blah 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 blah, blah all this great speech stuff. But it's a great moment for all these extras looking around, because some of them look scared, some of them look angry.
Yeah, you watching and wow, he's probably part of Hydra. He's probably part of S.H.I.E.L.D. He fucking is shitting his pants right now because he didn't sign up for this shit.
Yeah. And there's a great Mexican standoff with the giant room of people. It's really
and Jennifer Lawrence.
And it just was a really good movie, I have to say.
Yeah, there's a lot to really like about it. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Fuck you.
It's still an 8.5 because there's not a lot smart about the movie. I mean, it's connected. That's great,
and it works well with the rest of the continuity that's been brought up, as far as I can tell.
But I feel like it brought. It's called the Winter Soldier. Yet there's no resolution. I feel like if you're gonna name the movie the Winter Soldier, you should complete that story arc. But it feels like they're gonna extend it.
Well, they kind of complete it because they show that Bucky actually remembers Steve by the end, and he fully realizes who he is in that one of those. Well,
he's learning who he is, but they're still going to go after him. There's an implication.
Well, yeah, that's
going to be a Winter Soldier Part 2. There's going to be a whole Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
I don't think it would get
Harry Potter.
Point, Yeah, but that's a good thing, is it does leave you knowing that this is where the next entry into Captain America is going to go. You know where they're going to take the movie, at least in some instance. I mean, there's enough room where they could probably build a second point to it, and that just becomes a subplot. But you know that Captain America, Falcon, and Bucky are going to be the focus.
Yeah, it's
which is more than enough. I'm happy that they'll go with that.
Falcon's a great character.
Yeah,
he's
we never
really
talked
likable.
about Falcon. He just gets introduced to this movie.
he
just fits in so well.
He just conveniently meets Steve Rogers running, and then Steve Rogers shows up at his like post-traumatic stress disorder meeting, and like it's a really weird turn of events, but it kind of works.
Here's one thing I have to mention that. At least for me, because when you get brought with superheroes, one of the main thing is the secret identity is the most important thing. Everyone knows who Steve Rogers is, and
that's the thing. Like,
that's the thing.
Marvel's getting really big on the whole.
I know that no one has secret identities. That they're out there. That you know who they are.
Who has secret identities in the Avengers? Like,
none of them. People know who the Hulk is. I mean, it's hard not to.
Yeah, because Bruce Banner's.
They know that Tony Stark is Iron Man. They know that Steve Rogers is. They know that Natasha is Natasha. Or Black Widow.
Widow's Black Widow.
I think
who else?
Hawkeye might be the only one, but that's because you don't get enough information on him at this point.
Yeah, but at the end of this movie, all information within S.H.I.E.L.D. gets released. So, in the universe, Hawkeye's information is out there.
More or less, as far as we know.
We can assume. Unless he deleted it from the S.H.I.E.L.D. database. That sounds crazy.
But that's one of the things that kind of bug me. But that's because just the way I grew up is that in the Marvel Universe, they don't really give a shit about secret identities.
Especially in the movies.
But except for Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is probably the only one.
It almost feels... That's a completely different movie universe, it feels. Like, he's got his own shit he deals with in New York because the problem is that a lot of the stories take place in the same city, and you can't have them coincide so much because it would ruin one another's. The people would constantly be questioning, why doesn't Spider-Man employ the Avengers? Why doesn't he contact them to get them?
Well, because I think the Captain America movie, it takes place in D.C.
Yeah, Washington.
Yeah, well, what other DC would I be talking about? It takes place at the Dreamcast.
No, but some people don't know.
Yeah, it takes place in Washington, D.C. Oh my god, there is a lot to... I just realized that they do a lot of destruction in this movie. And at least it actually gets brought up, too. Like, at the end where it's like, how do you explain the fact that one of our biggest intelligence organizations just get fucking destroyed?
Yeah, like, what are we supposed to do? And she, like, avoids that question completely and goes, I'm a superhero. You'll know when you need me. Dum-da-da-dum, dum-da-da-dum-dum. Gonna walk like a smug bastard through reporters. So, at the end of the movie, it feels like it wraps it up and it leaves it open-ended at the same time.
Yeah,
like
because S.H.I.E.L.D.'s gone, and Nick Fury's out and about.
Nick Fury is ghosted right now.
Well, he's trying to get rid of all of the other S.H.I.E.L.D.
He's trying to get rid of the Hydra organizations that are hiding.
So,
we're not gonna spoil what's at the end of the credits because there's still got to be a reason.
Stay at the end of the credits. I mean, there is no joke thing. I don't care what anyone believes you to be, but they're essential plot pieces to what will happen.
The first one,
the
right after the cinematic looking trailer. You know the difference between the cinematic looking credits and then when they start rolling the black with white text credits?
Yes.
So the one right after the cinematic credits, crucial to I'm pretty sure Age of Ultron, Avengers 2.
Maybe. And then the second one is just character development.
It's more like just kind of tying up a loose end.
Yeah.
All in all, still an 8.05.
9 out of 10. Did you say 7?
8.5.
Okay, I thought you said... Good movie. Go and see it, especially if you saw the first one. You'll like this. If you liked Avengers, you'll definitely like this. And it's better than Iron Man 3 from what I feared. So, yeah.
Man. There's nothing to shield from this movie. I mean,